All right, so looking ahead, I'm in the Google Calendar now. I think you can find the Google Classroom still. I have updated it quite a bit, so it's going to look a little different. So basically, this is what we've been doing through the semester, and then we got sent into this distance learning situation, and we've gone through these 2 weeks here. So now, well, 3 weeks technically, huh? Yeah, 3 weeks. Wow. Um, so we're moving into the next coming up weeks here. And like I said, we just had that lecture on rhetoric. Um, and so what I'm going to have you guys do is what we call informational synthesis and rhetorical review. So using a lot of what I discussed about in the lecture, you're going to be completing some assignments. Um, Two to be exact, that are 2-day assignments. All right, so there's quite a bit of reading and writing that are involved in these assignments, so I'm giving you guys that extra time to complete it. But keep in mind that I do expect you to be as complete as you possibly can with these. Some of these articles are kind of lengthy, all right, so that's another reason why I'm giving you some more time. Next week, we're going to get into our final project, which will be a research paper. All right. I'll put out a video and rubrics and instructions on that. So all the information will be given to you next week. And we'll be doing a very short composition unit on grammar just to kind of get those mechanics back in place so that when you go to write your paper, those mechanics are back. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking at moving forward. So we have one more week of doing rhetoric. The next week after that is the introduction of the assignment and some grammar, and then we will have the final month basically of school will be the writing of that paper. All right, so as you can see here, May 5th, you should have your topic selected, right? We'll have it verified. Then you can start building your outline, which will be due on the 8th. And then your rough draft will be due on the 14th. And then you're sharing it with an editor. You'll be grouped with a partner on this to do some peer review and getting that second set of eyes on your paper. And then the final draft will be due on May 25th. All right. So giving you lots of time to build this paper. It is going to be a lengthy one, so that's why I'm giving you all that time. But let's take a look at these assignments right now. All right, so you go into the Google Classroom and you go to a normal post on the stream or in the classwork tab, whatever way you're looking at it. And you'll see an attachment in those assignments, and it'll look like this. It'll be called Informational Synthesis and Rhetorical Review number 1, right? You'll have 1 and 2. Article synthesis, so you'll be given 2 texts that will be talking about a certain topic. That could be certainly divisive, but basically there's a pro and con to this. All right, so you are given links to 2 articles. You'll synthesize the 2 opposing articles, looking at tone and attitude, rhetorical appeals, right? Kind of like I talked about in the lecture, textual evidence, support. So you have the ethos, you have the ethos through who's writing it, you have the pathos through the tone and the attitude and the position, and then the rhetorical appeals, and then you have the textual evidence, which is the logos, right? You're going to create a short response piece synthesizing the information in a logistical argument, and then synthesizing practices on the following pages. So this is a multi-page assignment, and it's going to be a little bit tough to follow. That's why there's all this information out here. So this first page is really introduction, right? Introducing the information. You have the link to opposing articles, informational text analysis, which is on the next page, and then single paragraph responses that I expect from each question. Okay, so single paragraph responses, which are, remember, 4 to 7 sentences per paragraph. And this is going to be due on Wednesday at 3:15. So this will be assigned to you tomorrow in the morning on Tuesday and be due on Wednesday afternoon. Excuse me. Oh, let me get a drink here. So the informational text issue that you're looking at with these 2 texts is going to be on binge watching, right? Especially during this time of quarantine. You know, what are people saying about binge watching. All right. You have your question here, and then you're going to be looking at the title, author, and central idea. A lot of what we've done before, but now we're building upon it. Central idea again. You're looking for tone, right? What kind of adjectives are they using to express tone? You can look back at that list of tone that I have in the Prezi that I gave to you. Choose one of the tones listed above and then select 2 words in one detailed sentence that proves this tone in each text. So you're really looking at the composition right now. You are diving into it. And that's for each text. So that's why there's paragraph response for each one, because you should be dealing with each text in every answer. So you're looking at like half a paragraph for each text. All right, so like 2 sentences for each of these, and then it accumulates into at least 4. Uh, Claim which rhetorical appeal, logos, ethos, pathos each author uses, and select one detail from each text. And you're explaining that, and then select a detail from each text that emphasizes similar information in each article. So where's the common ground and such, and you go all the way down to number 8. So you have a question, you have basically, here's the heading. I'm not really expecting you to write a whole paragraph on the heading, but I do want you to be able to identify the title, the text, the author of the text, and the central idea. That's the ethos, right? And then you have different ideas of, you get into some pathos here, and then you go into some logos here at the end, all right? And then on this next page, informational synthesis, rhetorical, right? This is just kind of a reminder. I'm helping you kind of, by not having to go back into my lecture and take notes on a very high level. It's a good idea to do that. But here are some just reminders from that text. So when you're going through this synthesis of the 2 texts, it's helpful to remember these items. Okay, so you got your tone here, your list of tones. You got the rhetorical appeal and the explanation for what they are. Okay, so this doesn't have any questions on it. It's just an explanation page. It's an informational page for your ability to answer 1 through 8. All right, this is going to take some time. I understand. So that's why it's a 2-day thing. You're looking at 8 paragraphs per assignment, which is longer than some papers that you've written for me. So please be mindful that I am expecting you to really dive into these texts on a pretty deep level. All right, and they are kind of lengthy. So that's what you got going on this week. You have 2 assignments that will have the same handout, just different texts. All right, so the instructions are going to be the same all week. And then we get into our final project. All right, and we'll do some grammar along with the project, and then we'll get kick-started on the outline, the rough draft, and the final draft. All right, so that's what we're looking at for the rest of the semester. You will receive one more informational video from me next week on the final project. Once again, I am always available in the comment section on the Google Classroom for any assignment. It does show up on my inbox, so I'm able to reach out to you through the Google Classroom. You can always reach me through email too. All right. So if you run into any problems, please let me know. All right. This is a huge assignment. This is basically your final. All right. We're after this week, we're getting started on the final, which is a huge part of your grade. All right. So make sure you don't take it lightly. There isn't a lot to be working on once we get into the grammar unit. There is just not that much that I'm putting out on the Google Classroom because I expect this paper to fulfill all the high ends of the rubric. Okay. All right. That's enough from me. Once again, always, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless.